When I have a big project like creating a forever save file from scratch, I like to start off strong and big, and that's what we're doing today. We're gonna be building the entire low-income neighborhood, which is gonna be 4 lots, but not just 4 houses. I'm talking about 9 houses and maybe even something a little extra. That's gonna be a big one, so let's get right into it. So we are obviously starting with the low-income neighborhood, and that's going to be Foundry Cove. And as I said, we have 9 houses to build, so I have to just get started right away. And what we're gonna do is start by placing the base layout of all of our houses. This way we'll get a really good idea of where we're going. And after that, we're gonna get into like the decorating and making everything look older and way more rundown. So as I was speaking, I did the first shape. This one I already had in mind. I had a really good idea of what I wanted to do. We're now gonna get to the roofing, and I'm gonna go with a gabled roof pretty much everywhere. That is going to get lowered down, and let's get an eave to it. Whoops, not that big. By using a hipped roof this time. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side over here. I think having a porch here, it could be really sweet to get into like the garden or even the parking. We're gonna get some stairs, and since we got a balcony, let's roof it up. And we're gonna add some of these columns, but not in the whitest swatch. I think this gray swatch would be best on all corners, and I will also use this to support the roof. I don't know if we're gonna change it or not. We'll see how we go when we get to the detailing part. And one thing that's really bugging me out, these houses are gonna be in a short wall. Look how much better it already looks in short wall. And I want to get a little planter at the front. Oh yeah, okay, with just a one tall, because we have the foundation. Yeah, something like this. So let's get just a little bit of grass or dirt. We could then get a spandrel. This one looks really bright white. Maybe this one would be a little bit better, so let's go with this one. For this house, it's the one from Cottage Living. And for the fencing, I think I might just stick with base game, maybe even this one in white. So let's add the stairs. And over here, to do something a little bit different, we could get a half wall. That's a bit tall. Yeah, we could get a little half wall like this. That's cute. And then just to get a placeholder, we're gonna use the concrete and design where our parking is going to go. That's gonna be our parking space. And now to the fun part, we're gonna do windows. And I want to have a beautiful bay window at the front here, and I will probably do that on a lot of the houses. I think it just looks so good. And for the doors, I also think that the best ones are going to be with base game. For the style we are going for, I kind of like these with the wood. You can see there's like detailing on it, and they do look a bit rough, like roughen up. There's scratches on them and stuff, so we're gonna go with these. And there's a bunch of variation, because one thing I absolutely want is for all of my houses and all of the neighborhoods to be cohesive. And when I'm talking about cohesive, I mean like the same roof texture like I'm doing right now, and in the same neighborhoods, the same doors and similar windows, because I feel like mostly like this neighborhood would be constructed by the same person, which in this case is me. But yeah, I feel like because of that, there would be a lot of similarities, and I just also prefer the look of it, honestly. I like when everything is cohesive. And that would probably be it for our first base. So we're gonna jump to this lot next. For this house, we're gonna have the living room at the front, and I would like to have the entryway maybe here, like right there. And we're gonna turn around, but then let's figure this out. So we would have like this as an entryway. We could go into the living room. Let's get a box to close this off. Okay, so this is what it would give us. Now it does give us like a pretty long hallway slash entryway, but that's not too bad. I think that's pretty realistic. And then coming to this side, we're gonna have another room. That's a way bigger house. And let's get my little sunroom right over here. Make this short wall. and everything on the foundation. And let's just do something a little different over here, as if the sunroom was like an added newer part of the house. And I feel like the roofing is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to have a part over here, and I'll do the same overhang thing. So this is what our roofing would be looking like. Let's get our columns once again using the same one. And I do like to use my columns to create some separation where my roofs are like meeting, just like over here. And let's use just like the regular base game column for this house. I think that's cute. And once again, we're gonna stick with base game fencing, but a different one this time. Yeah, I might go with this one. And let's get our stairs, railing. I do hate how it's clipping in the columns, but it's okay. For our door this time, let's do like a full-on glass door, because that's like the only window we're gonna have in the big ass hallway. And for this spandrel, no, I don't want to do the base game. We're gonna do the same one. Yes, we are. From cottage living. And for the windows at the front, one window that I really like that goes with these so well is the high school years one. This one, it looks so good. I do even prefer this window. I feel like it looks a little bit older than this one, but they do go pretty well together. So let's do our windows all the way around. So this would be like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Oh, maybe 3 bedrooms. Yeah, I think maybe this could be a bedroom. That's a bedroom. That's a bedroom. This would be the bathroom. And then we could have over here like the dining room. If we open this, we could have, no, the kitchen over here. And over here would be maybe the dining room in the sunroom. Speaking about the sunroom, let's get it actually windowed up, because that would be pretty cool for like a kitchen. Not a kitchen, a dining room. Let's get our roof color in place. And yes, for this neighborhood, it's gonna be this one, because I think it's the like most rundown one. This one I feel like looks a bit too clean, and like all of the others look way too clean. So we're gonna go with this one all the way around. And it's roofing. I don't think it's gonna look too similar, because all of the houses are gonna be different color and stuff. And let's see for the driveway, it would be better to just like move the house we can to this side one. Yes, and this way you see we get a way better alignment with what's supposed to be like the driveway. We could get some sort of like seating area at the front. And no, let's bring the driveway only to where the sunroom bro ends. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you know what, I think a chimney would look good on this. I might have to sacrifice a window here, and I know we don't have space to build with a wall, but you can use just a like regular chimney. Probably let's do brick, probably this one. Now it looks really low and really silly, but you can add another one, and I like to do this one from growing together. And I'll just use the 9 to lift it up and stick it out, and this way it looks pretty realistic to me. It does look pretty much the same as what they did over there, so that's working pretty well. And that would be it for this house. I think for now we have the good base shape. We have 2 houses, that's good. Only 7 left to do. Now on this lot, we're going to have 2 houses, one at the back and one more on the side right there. And I love the fact that there is like a pathway, a natural pathway right there. So I want these 2 houses to be really close together, so they squeeze in this pathway. And I think if I can pull it off, but I mean it's not that it's hard, but if it can look good, we're gonna do like the same house but flipped over. But for now, let's start at the back. It's gonna be a little bit easier to see if we start there first. Let's start with just a big box. So we'll do 5 by something. I feel like this looks good. So that's 5 by 12. To make it a little bit different, we could get like this sunroom on the side, kind of like that. It might be a bit too big, we'll see. And I kind of want to even it out on this side. So let's get a little bump out like so, and let's center the door kind of like this. Yeah, I think with a roof this could look like something. It does seem like we have enough space to work around. It's gonna divide our entryway because we know that that's going there. And let's get our roof. Oh, and change the lighting, so that's so much better. Honestly, the roofing, once you've done the first one, it's pretty much always gonna be the same. Okay, that would be our roofing. And once we have the roofing done, it looks like a house. Let's get this one on a foundation as well, but let's mix it up. We'll do like 3 high and 2 high foundation all around the neighborhood. This way it's the same, but but with a little bit of differences. I've added the columns everywhere with the railing, the stairs, and the fencing, and I added this little like back door area. Oh, and there's a little bit of a roof clipping right there. Let me just whoop. Okay, and now we need to do the windows. Once again, we're gonna be using these ones for our sunroom. This sunroom is so much bigger than the others. They are so lucky. And I also did the floor plan, so this is what we have. We have the entryway with the bathroom. We're gonna have the kitchen probably along here with a dining, the back door that we could add right now, and the front door right there. Yes, we're gonna have 2 bedrooms, and we have 1.5 bath in this house, which is really good. And the sunroom is gonna be the living room. This would be this space pretty much done. Let's jump to another house. Oh my god, are you surprised? And one thing I know I want to have over here is another one of these planter boxes, and the house kind of have to be shaped like long like this because I want to have a driveway over here and an RV right there that your sim is going to be able to live in. If you want to live the poor life, I'm going to build an RV right there. But yeah, this house has to be like long and skinny, so let's do this. So that's my long and skinny. I think it could be nice to have like a bay window there, add a roof detailing, and let me get my planter box. So that does bring us closer to the street, and let's put everything on a foundation. I'm gonna go a little bit higher than this house. And one column that I also really want to use is this one. I think it looks so good and it would fit really nicely in this neighborhood. So we're gonna get inspired by this. Well, I mean, that's not even for right now, but I know I want to use it. Now, I do think we could add something to make this house a little bit more substantial, have a little bit more shade. So first, let me get my sunroom at the back. We could do something like this, and I will also get like I'm wondering like where they could share maybe a backyard. That would be good. So let's just get a little cheeky back door there, and to the side we're gonna add a box and an entryway. This way we enter. Do we enter the front, or do I want to make them enter on the side? No, I think the front is nice. Okay, that looks like a house, but to make it look even more like a house, you know, we need a roof, and this would be what it looks like with our ceiling. Pretty good. This side is pretty boring, so we're gonna solve this problem by adding a chimney, exactly the same one that we did right next door over there, and we can get the pretty brick that I like from the column that I want to use. It's not exactly the same, but I don't care. It's pretty, even if we're only able to fit one on the entire house. The fact that it clips right there wants me to put this staircase here instead. I don't like it as much. I prefer the staircase to be at the front. And now to the fun part, the window. I love doing the windows and the door. I feel like it brings everything to life. That's not gonna be a sunroom. I think that just this being a window area, front window area, is good enough. I like to put the bigger windows at the front of the house and stick with like smaller ones all around. That's why I love to combine the high school years one with the base game one. And at the back we get our cheeky little sunroom. And let me see if the door that we got from the greenhouse kit, or maybe even this one, like just a fully glassed door. Yeah, the white is too white. The gray could work though. I think the gray could work, but let me show you the one I'm talking about. I was thinking this one, like I think that's kind of good. I prefer this one. Yes, so let's go with this one. And if we get our driveway, we're gonna need probably just a path going straight to the street here. Let's leave a little bit of greenery maybe between the houses and get the parking lot kind of over here. Could be bigger. Yeah, maybe something like this. Now this part looks a little bit weird, but we could find something that works probably along those lines. We're gonna come back to it anyway, and I might even want to make it bigger since we're gonna have a RV right here. And should we get the base of this done right now? I think we probably should. Let's just hit save because we did a lot of progress. Look at this. We did not start with this today. We already have almost a full neighborhood. So for this, we're gonna go into the debug menu, and if we go all the way down and just come up a little bit, we have this. This is what I'm gonna use. It's to put like a boat on top, but I think that's kind of perfect. I don't want to have like the truck in front of it. I just want to have, it's not really an RV, but I just want to have like the camper. It's a camper. I just want to have like the camper part of it that is like not attached. I'll put it kind of really at front, and we have to be aligned with the tile because we're gonna be using the rooms, and that's a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna scale it it down to maybe like, what would 0.7 look? Okay, let's try 0.7 and we'll see if we like it or not. So we're gonna get a room, and the way we're gonna do this is we are gonna start by building our room on the side of it, and we're gonna build another room on top. Just gonna place this exactly where it goes. Okay, I'm gonna delete the bottom floor, and then the second floor I'm gonna lower it almost all the way down. I'll just gonna make it a little bit taller so that it fits right on top of these wheels, and we're just gonna drag it. Oh, it's gonna delete it. I think I can do maybe the delete protection from Better Build By. Yeah, okay, that's working. So let's just move this in place. Really good. And now I think we might have to do a platform, but this shouldn't be a problem. And then this is what it will look like. I love that. So we are going to have a little RV park right there. Is that so fun? I think it's so fun. We need a roof on this, and I think it's so hard to roof like RV for them to look good. I'm calling this a RV, okay? We all know what I'm talking about, even though it's not. We're gonna do a roof like this and bring it all the way down, but I still think that it looks too high. So I'm gonna share with you a trick that I like to use. You can see that when you get your roof bigger and smaller, it gets higher as you go bigger. So you're gonna go smaller to a height that you like, and then you're gonna click on Alt, and then you're gonna drag your roof out, and it's gonna keep the same height that you had. So now this is the height that we have, and I kind of like it, and I'm wondering if I want to curve it a bit or not. Yeah, maybe just a little curve, because it's the max I can do. Is nice. And if I do Control Shift Shift C, yeah, it makes it even more like seamless. So that would be our roof. I'm not gonna complicate it more than that. We're gonna need a place to get on and off this thing, so let me get that in place right here. Don't move that, please, sir. With some stairs, and the best one are going to be the one from Get to Work. So let's get this there, and I think 2 is a bit too much. Well, nah, it's okay. And we can get maybe like the werewolves fencing around, something like this, and same thing on the railing, and same thing on the stairs. Fun. And I think I'm gonna use the Strangerville door. But where is it? This one, yes. And let's put that right there. This way we have a little landing. Cute. I like that. We could get some trims if we add on the top a piece of flooring, and I think a little trim would be nice to separate everything. So let's just do that. And then if we go into our exterior trim, we can add like a tiny trim right there. That's cute. And I might add a thicker one at the bottom, or you know what, I think I'll do the same one. I like this one. Yes. Now the windows, I would like for them to be different. Let me see what base game has, since we are playing with base game. That's kind of interesting. I think I've never seen these windows before. They kind of look RV-like to me. We could get like a couple of window there. Yeah, they're nice, these windows. Let's get another one here, and I don't want to overdo it with windows, but maybe there would be one at the back. It looks funky at the back though. No, let's not put some at the back. Whoa, it says system error? What the fuck is this? I've never seen this before. There's an error in the system. Holy shit. Okay, I'm back. It's working. Everything is fine. Don't be dramatic. I did remove the window. I did it. I was able to, and I changed the roof swatch thing. And now we have this neighborhood to build, which is more houses than what I already did. So I think I'm gonna start simple and just duplicate this house, but flipped over right here, exactly like this one is. And so that would be our identical house done. And as I was doing it, I realized that I did not put the columns over there, but it's okay. We're gonna get back to it. I just have to add my little spandrel around here and around the back, and I think we're pretty much done with the base of this house too. Would you look at that? It's growing, it's growing, it's coming together. Let's hit save and go onto the other one. I think I'm gonna focus at the back first to try and squeeze everything in, because I would really love to fit 5 of them. I'm pretty sure we can do another one here, a small one here, and then 2 at the back. That's what was in the plan anyway. I don't know exactly where this house is going to go, so we are probably gonna end up moving it, but let's get started. So if we get a box like this, but we use a part of it with some spandrel to create our entryway. Let's get maybe just the base game columns again, and then next door we're gonna use just plain ones. And since I'm into the columns, let's get all of the columns everywhere. Oops. It's crazy how a simple box like this can turn into a house. So let's add another box to it, because I do think this is quite boring and quite small too. I'm so like hunched over my computer, bro. It's like I'm gonna eat it. Straight up. So maybe like this little bump out could be the kitchen and the dining. I don't know, but it's gonna be helpful as hell to have this right there. And we could also get a little deck out of it if we say that it's a kitchen. Everything looks a bit silly, so let's get a foundation. And let's go too high for this one. And I think maybe for both at the back, we're gonna do too high. As they're gonna be smaller, I think they're like less expensive. So maybe like less high. I don't know, bro. Let's get our roof settled up. So we're gonna start by just roofing it like this. I think that if we go pretty simple, we could get something that looks nice. We don't need to over complicate it. So we would have something like this, and let's do the same thing on the other side. But I don't think I like this roof being like this. So let's change it up. And why if we just like keep it like this with just this one? I preferred it like this, and it's a little bit like this house over there. And could we even like use this roof cover our porch? Yes, I think that's good. So this house has like covered porch, but differently than the other houses, because it's like inside the house instead of being outside. Well, I'm just saying nonsense at this point. Let's get a little bit of a different fencing, always sticking with the base game. I think this one is like my favorite, the one with the little bubble, the little bulb at the top. Love it. And we can get stairs here and a little stair here. Yes, that's cute. I like that. Look at that. That's a cute little house. So this house would have its little backyard there. We could probably move this one over. Well, let's wait. Let's wait in. Let's do the windows and everything and the other houses first. Let's get our high school window. Oh, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna do like a full-on glass part at the front here. Yes, that looks really good. It looks a little bit similar to this one, but the roofing is different. So I think we can make that work. I'm gonna use a column to separate it there then. And that would also be a good place to add a chimney to this house as well. So we could do it. This means I'm not gonna add a chimney to like a lot of the other houses though. I don't want everything to be the exact same replica. Cute little chimney. Let's get another one of the doors. Is there one we haven't used? Yes, this one we haven't used. Let's get this one there and maybe the full-on glass one in like the kitchen part. Let's just put it maybe here so we can have a window next to it. And I'll go around and do the rest of the windows and detailing on this house to be done with its space. Let's do the next one. Oh my god, we have 3 left to do. And then we just have like 2,000 more things to add to every house and we'll be done. I think I want to make this one like the opposite side. So this one has kind of a little backyard here and the other one has a little backyard there. So let's get another rectangle and let's bring something out once again. That's take a lot of space. Maybe I should put it like forward so that we can have some sort of... I was gonna touch the screen to show you. Yeah, we could do a little room like this and then at the back we could have a little deck area and oh, maybe we could have another planter at the front here. And if we put everything on a foundation, let's do 2 again. This was meant to be another room, but the entryway, not the entryway, the porch. So this would be our little house shape. Cutie cutie, let's get our roof. And you know what? I think for this one, I'm not gonna do the little overhang. I kind of like seeing this spandrel. That's a bit different. And as I said, I'm gonna use the more plain columns on this house. Oh, I cannot center this column. That's gonna send me off. I don't like it. I want my base game columns. Yeah, something like this. And then we're gonna add some at the back. Maybe just 1. Get our stairs. Now I'm looking at this house and I'm realizing that there is no sunroom. Maybe we should add a little sunroom to the side. I think it needs it. It wants a little sunroom. It looks so weird with it though. Let's make maybe it a little bit smaller. That's gonna be the smallest sunroom. It's not even gonna be a room at this point. It's gonna be a closet. It's a sun closet. But I would love myself a little sun closet, like a really small sun closet. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, that could be cute. That could be cute. It does make the house look a bit bigger than what I wanted, but maybe it's fine. So for the windows, I think I'm gonna use the high school years one at the front and just the regular smaller ones everywhere else. Well, except for our beautiful sunroom that's gonna have the exact same window as every other sunroom we did. Okay, let's leave this house alone and do the next one. And once again, we just get a bunch of rectangles and try to make everything fit nicely. So let's get a rectangle over here and attach another one to it. Voila! Then let's switch it up and get a side porch here. And also we're gonna have a road going like all the way around here. So having the stairs going maybe into the road here could be a little bit different. And I think I want to add a little small porch at the front as well. Let's get everything on a foundation. Let's go a little bit higher. And I think I'll roof everything just to see if this looks like a house or if I want to change anything. Okay, I've moved the houses around a little bit to see the spacing. I'm still not sure. I might bring this one a little bit closer again, but we'll see. So this is what we would have for now. And once the roofing is in, it does look like a pretty good house. So I did the columns and now we have to do like everything else, which is the fencing. So you know what? I think I'll reuse the same one that the first house, which is this one. Then we're gonna do the windows and our sunroom is gonna be at the back of this house, just like this. And then maybe we could get some high school years here and just do the base game ones around the rest of the house. For the doors, I think once again I'm gonna do the full glass one for this part. Oh, but it is like straight up on the street. No, I think I'm gonna do exactly the opposite and I'll have just a closed door like this. I do think that the porch might be a bit too big. Let me see if I size it down. With the stairs on the side, I think this could be a little bit better. I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes to the detailing. Let's do this door. Oh, I did it over there. Let's do this door, but like with a curved line. Yes, this one. And the last house over here is gonna have to be pretty small. I don't want to hide everything with it. So we'll do a small box. We've been doing like 5 by like 10 and more. So I think I'll be doing like 5 by 8. Small little box with our bay windows. And let's just break this side up with a small bump out as well. The door, I think I'm gonna put it the same way as this one. Like over here, just to stay in continuity. And I'm gonna keep this one on a lower foundation and I'm gonna off-center the door. You know what? And honestly, that would probably be it for this really small house. We don't need more than that. I do have like the rest of the floor plans to do. I did do this one and all of the rest. I hate the fact that the driveway is not lining up like perfectly and I wish I could delete this. I don't know how to do it even using like tool mod. Like I can't select it and I used to be able to do it. Same thing for over here. Like I wish I could remove the plants and use something to draw a driveway, but that will have to do for now. I'll find a way to make this look like perfect, but we're gonna have to do with what we have for now. We could have our little road going around like this. That would not be so bad. This part is a little weird. Nothing a couple more diagonal cannot solve. And now all that we have to do is turn every house from this to this. Now I'm saying like woo as if it was super pretty. It's a little bit run down, just how we like it for a lower income neighborhood. Got a little bit of garbage everywhere. You can see the fencing that we got going around and a lot of detailing. I also started on the interior. This is what we got. We have the living room with the kitchen and this is how every single house is gonna come in a ready to move in style. And I might also have done this one over there by myself as well. You can see a little bit of the process right now of what we are going to go through for the 7 houses that we have to do right now. But first, this is how this house turned out in the end. I did change a couple of things. Oh, I did not do the little planter right there. You know what? Let's do that right now. Get our dirt. And I think I'm gonna use the debug bush for this one, and I'm gonna size it down twice. Let me show you around and now that that's done. So again, we have garbage and I want to use kind of the already made pathways going here. Maybe that's a little bit too much grass. Change the place of this. Okay, yeah, I want to have a continuous path over here and same thing over there in between. You see I added little signs. This one says please don't go fishing, this is our spot. But yeah, this is the house and inside this is what it looks like. So this one has 3 bedrooms, the hallway, a bathroom, and this is the whole living space. Yeah, it is high, but you can fit everything in here. You have the entire kitchen right there. You can have your dining room over here, and you can get yourself a couch right there and have a living room. So that's a good spacious family house. I think that's the biggest one of them all. I don't think we have another house that has 3 bedrooms, so that's good. Now we're gonna jump on this lot right there. And over here, we're gonna do the exact same process, but we're gonna go step by step together. I think I might want to start with the fencing. I'll do the exact same thing we did over there. So that is from the base game debug. And when you find this wooden fence, it's actually this one. It's just a little bit less cute, and that's what I want. I do size them all down. So let's get that at the back. And on the side, I am using the fencing, the little like mesh fencing from down here, and once again I size it down. This time I size it down twice, and I go all the way around. I do think this driveway might be a little too big. I'm gonna remove 2 tiles from it because this trailer can totally be parked like on the side because someone is living there. Like they don't need to be in the middle of the driveway. Let's get back to our debug and our fencing using the smaller piece to really go where I want to go. This is so in my way. We'll have to make the fence go all the way through there. We're gonna get ourselves a little door over here so that our Sims can get into the pre-made path right there to go to the little heart over there. So I'm using the single piece and I just put it to look like it is opened. Now the fencing is done. Let's go back to the regular game and we're gonna change this for a gravel because this is what I did over there. This is tiles and I just added terrain paint to make everything kind of fade in. You can still see kind of the lines of the driveway of the flooring pieces, but this way when you go into the map mud you can actually see the pathway, which I think is really important. I hate when I'm in map mud and my houses just seems to be floating on the terrain. That's not realistic and that's not how I like it. So I added the gravel and now using terrain paint, I'm gonna go around and add gravel outside of the flooring. And I don't think I have the right gravel. Yeah, this one is so much better. Look at the difference. It's so much seamless. And I am gonna add again in the terrain paint some dirt with a softer intensity. And we're gonna go around and do some small little clicks. You can probably hear it. And we're gonna make this a little bit more used, the terrain more dirty. First by going around with dirt, and once everything is covered in dirt, you can see that there is a lot of lighter patches. So I'm using this salted earth one, weird name, and with the softness, we're gonna go around and add this again a little bit everywhere around because the goal is to not look too different to our surrounding. I like when everything's in and look intentional. That's pretty good. Look at this, it does make a big difference than just the dirt, but now it looks pretty damn flat. So we need to go back into debug, and my favorite debug to use to landscape is cottage living, obviously, but I'm also going to get base game, cottage living. I will get snowy escape and also high school years, and after I'm done with that, because that's the 4 like packs, base game is not a pack, but the 4 packs I use to landscape, then I will go with eco lifestyle to add trash around. But we're gonna do everything together, don't worry. I love these bush from base game. We just use them over there, but I think they are the perfect fluffiness and they don't look really like maintained. So I think I'm gonna start over here with some bushes like those, and when I can't place them where I want them because of the foundation, I just use the beloved tool mud and I can just place everything exactly where I want it without struggling with the foundations. Now I do be struggling with the tool mud, but you know what, we choose our struggles. And I do like using the trees that are in the current like world, the corresponded pack of the world we are currently in. And since this is a base game world, I'm going to use the base game plants mostly for the trees. I'm going to use the base game trees around because I once again like my surroundings to be blending all together. I also get variation in my trees with the tool mud again by just sizing them different sizes every time. fine. I also do not add a lot of trees, you will realize, because I don't like when I go into world and select where my sim is going to go to just see a bunch of trees instead of houses when I look at the neighborhoods. I hate when trees empowers the rest, so I try to add as least as possible, and when I do, I'm gonna add them more at the back over here than over there, because when you look at the map from the top, you see the back of these houses, so if you put trees there, they're gonna empower everything. So I keep my trees, my big trees, we have one there and one there at the back, but I don't even think I'm gonna add this one. I think it's too close to the other one. You know a little bit of my thinking process. Now it's time to go down and find the cottage living, and we're gonna be using these bushes. I love them so much. They're so fluffy, they're perfect, and all around the landscaping, as I said, of cottage living is amazing, so we're gonna make use of that, that's for sure. We're gonna get the grass, and they have some really big patches of grass that I just love to make everything look overgrown, so we're gonna throw that around, and at the same time we do add some stuff in the environment, which is good. We're gonna go further down the road and add a lot more things around using tool mud, but for now that's a way to do it, to get everything feel a little bit more cohesive. Good to have stuff in the environment that matches your house aesthetic. We also have some lines of mushroom, and they look good around our fencing, and same thing for these lines of grass. They are perfect to line fencing, because you don't freaking cut grass where there is fencing like this, mostly not because the houses are for sale and no one's living here, also because it's inconvenient. So that's really realistic, and I love to do that. I'll do the same thing near the houses, and then we're gonna go around and add just a bunch of plants from the debug I told you about earlier. Snowy Escape that has some really nice tall grass. Now obviously when you're gonna move into these houses, you're gonna have some work to do to remove all of these plants and make it livable for your sims. That's exactly how I like it. You have a little bit of work before getting the life. And high school years also has some really good grass. We are really just going for this overgrown feel. Now I gotta stop because I'm gonna add too much. I know myself. Just feel like over here we're lacking a lot, and I love to use these, cover up a bunch of the ground, and this is already better, and I'm gonna leave it like so. For now, this is the landscaping we're gonna have. You know what, maybe we could add a couple of trees, but at the same time we have all of this to do, and I think having a tree maybe more over here so it's more distant is gonna be better, and it's gonna feel like it's over there as well. And we need space because this is like, I've covered entirely the stairs, but you're supposed to go down here, and this is like your shared backyard. It's so small, but yeah, this is the space they have. Now that's enough. We have so much more to do, and we're gonna start with the coloring and adding all of the life to the houses part. But first I want to do the trailer, and while I was building this, I had in mind, there is kind of a rundown wallpaper. This one, I had this in mind. I don't want to make it like too bright. I think this could be literally perfect. We do have some colors if we would like to have colors, but I think it clashes so much, and this to me it just looks so like more cheap looking. We could also go with the Love Struck one. We have this kind of green swatch. Let's see both. I do think I prefer the Life and Death one. Yeah, I prefer the white of the Life and Death, so we're gonna stay with Life and Death. This is what we have. Now we're gonna get a platform trim for this part. I think we're gonna go much different from what we already have, but this is just a bit darker, and then I don't really like this trim we have going around here. I do think it to be a different color, like at least gray. Yeah, that's 10 times better, and we're gonna do the same thing at the top. Or do we keep the white, or do we add some brown or black? Yeah, I think I might just leave it white. And for the roof trims, might go with a gray one, kind of simple like this. That's pretty good. Now I think some awnings on top of these window would be pretty good. We also need some vents, so we could have a vent over here. We need a conditioning unit. I do love to put mine in the windows. One looks pretty bad, that's perfect. And for the awning, I do really like these. these, but I think they might be looking too like clean. I'm unsure about the metals one, but they could look good. Or we have this kind of things that is actually really suiting, really fitting for the type of van we have, but it is just so big. I think businesses and hobbies is coming to save the day. These are literally perfect, exactly what we need. They look a little bit used. They are perfect. Okay, now around here we're gonna need, I don't know if we need like a drain pipe, but I'm gonna add one because it looks good. Let's get one right there. And in the debug again, debug is our best friend for these builds, I promise you. We're gonna go again in the high school years because they have some really good electric looking stuff. So we're gonna get this like power box with some pipes because you know what, it's always useful to have some pipes. And I usually put these, but that's just on the ground. We're not gonna add this for this one. I think that would be pretty good. We are missing something there. We're gonna find something along the way, maybe just like a graffiti, something like this, as if it had been painted at the back. You know what, I don't hate that. I kind of like that. Okay, let's keep that there. And over here we're gonna add some clothing lines using these towels. So let's get a couple of these in place, and to make it look a little more solid, I'm gonna use these kind of brackets. Let's just size them down. This way it looks like it's supported by something, and we can now act as if things were drying over there, and it looks super realistic. This is actually really disgusting to have it right underneath the fan thing, but you know what, it is what it is. I think we could maybe also add a little bit of decoration at the top. So I'm gonna get some half walls, and let's draw a room over here and lift the platform, and maybe instead we could add some fencing, and this way we can add some roof decorations such as a little vent, or maybe even one of these. This way we can have a different type of vents and ventilation. I don't really know, but it adds a little something to the top. And inside we're gonna do the floor plan it's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna have the bathroom at the back. We're gonna have a kitchen coming around, probably around here. Then we're going to have some half walls to separate over here. We're gonna have a tight living room. I don't even know why I tell you, we could do it right now. If we get the tiles, I'll show you exactly what I think. Let's get a kitchen over here. We're gonna have a stove area. We're gonna have the fridge right as you get in, and by the door is going to be the same. We need to utilize this space as well because there is not a lot of storage around here. We have a really simple bathroom, and this is what the kitchen looks like. For the seating area over here, I really want to use this by a Dream Home Decorator. I think that's literally perfect. It looks exactly what you can find in this type of setup. I'm just gonna rearrange this, and over here I want to see if I can do some sort of lifted bed situation. I don't know if it's gonna be functional. I don't know if your Sims are gonna be able to go there. I will 100% test it, and if it does not work, I'm gonna change it. But I do really love how this looks to put a bed. So this is what we have for now for the little camper, and this is the most furnished you're gonna get today. We're not gonna get to more furnishing than this because we have so many more exteriors to do. Where the hell do you want me to find the time to do every single interiors? But as I said, everything is gonna be ready to move in, that's for sure. And you're gonna see every interior at the end, but they're not like completely furnished. They're just ready to move in. And now we have these two houses, and I'm gonna go ahead and do all of the coloring first, and I'll finish the exterior, and then we're gonna go ahead and add grimes and dirt everywhere around with the garbage and everything. But let's just get to the coloring first. And since we have a little bit of brick here, I'm gonna get a little bit of brick here. I'm gonna go with a mix for this house. So let's start by doing this and this part in brick, and we're gonna go with some regular siding for the rest. And what are we doing? We're just going super basic with a white and brick could be nice, but this is also what we did over there. So is it too repetitive? decorative. We could also go with green. You know what? I kind of like the green with the brick. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a bit of green everywhere. And for this part, the sunroom, I'm gonna go with a more rundown type of wood. And we're gonna add some columns everywhere to delimitate every space. We're gonna need some railings in here. Maybe we could get a little bit of metal using was it love straw? Yes, love straw. We don't even have a door on this house. That's kind of crazy. I'll do the same one that we got over here since it's basically the same house. Let's get a little bit of greenery in our planter, and we can get to add a bunch of detailing to our house, starting by adding a bunch of rain pipe everywhere. Do love the look of these, so realistic. These windows could totally be swapped for these ones, and since we used the love straw railing, we could also use the love straw little balconies. I'm just gonna size them down because I don't want this to be fancy. I want it more to look like a protection, and there is so much space on the side of these windows that we're gonna have. I think we're gonna add some shutters. I do like them to be sized down, and that already makes a huge difference, so why not get a couple more over here? And we don't need to get them at every single windows, but just here and there for some additional detail is really good. So I'm gonna do the same thing on just one of these windows. No, it does feel like it's missing something over here now, so let's get some over here as well. Let me know also down below what you would like to see next in our forever save file creation. I feel like maybe some of this from base game could be good at the top of the windows. I feel like it's just missing a little something here at the get just a couple of like over here and over there, and that's it. And now we're gonna open the debug again to get our electric stuff from high school years. So we got an electric box over here with a little conditioner unit. We got our fuse box, or I don't know, on this side. I also added vents. Now all I'm seeing is that we're missing some roof trims, but other than that, for now, I think this is how I'm gonna leave this house, but we're gonna come back to it. I want to do the coloring of this one next, and I'll be using the same wallpaper to do this front part, and I also think I'm gonna be putting it on a different foundation, this one, just so that it looks like it's been added on. And I think we're gonna do a little beige like this for this house, like a little brownish beige. It's cute, it's a little bit different without being too out there. By each side of the door, I feel like some lights would kind of fill the space nicely. So let's see what we got, and that I haven't been using too often, and I do think that I have never seen these lights before. They do look a little fancy, maybe a little too fancy for my liking. I do like these a lot. I think they are so weird. Love it, but we're gonna keep those. We're gonna keep those. I'm gonna commit to those. And this house feels just so bland. We need to add like awnings, I think. Yeah, I think these brown little awnings are cute. And for the bottom of the windows, I might add some bars from Snowy Escape for kind of like security purpose. And let's keep them in brown like so. It's cute. And I'll do the same thing at the back since we are pretty close to a like high traffic area. And I'll get the awning as well. Then let's get our decoration we've been using all the way around. Gutters, like pipes. And again, in high school years, debug all of our electric stuff. And one thing I really like as well is this mounted garden hose. So we're gonna get a couple of these on both of the houses. Now our roofs are looking a little bit bare, bland, boring. So let's get a little bit of stuff scattered around, and then we can get ourselves, just like we did over here, some vents. And these also satellite dish are so good for realism. They are really big though, so I sized them down, but to add on the roofs of your houses, it's the perfect realism addition. Now if we go over here, we can add our mailbox. I've been using this one from For Rent because I love the fact that there is graffiti on it, so we can get a couple of mailboxes for both of the houses. And for the trash can, we're gonna go with the exact same two coloring throughout the entire world of Willow Creek, and our colors of garbage bin is black and blue for this world, so we're gonna add that right over here. And then I like to add letters, so this file right here by the mailbox, and we also have, if I type mail, this, just to add more realism. And then we're gonna go into the eco lifestyle debug, and that's where we're going to find a bunch of trash. And maybe we could also use this pile of tire, humongous, but we could slice them down, put them over here. And there is all of the disgustingness we can add everywhere. I don't want to add too much because I don't want to make the place disgusting. I just want to look like it's either been abandoned or not properly taken care of in a long time. And I also like to add a little bit of garbage by our fencing where the streets are. And over here is perfect because we also have some mushrooms, so it's kind of fitting. And again, we have these garbage bags that we can add for realism. And these are from the live edit mode, so they are not going to be thrown away by your Sims. If you don't want them anymore, you're gonna have to take care of them by yourself. We can have some communal planters for both of the owners. And I like to add garage where the garbage bin is. And I also do think that this trailer would have its own trash can, kind of like out here. Now, if we go into our decoration category, we can go into the painting and posters, and this is where all of the disgustingness takes place. So let's run down these houses, make them look old and a little bit disgusting here and there by adding a bunch of these like wall decals at the top and at the bottom everywhere around the houses. I also use some to add to the windows to make them look dirty, and I like to add a little bit more dirtiness where there is a bunch of things just like around here, because I can just tell that this has not been washed in a really long time, or if even ever. And I'm gonna go around and do the exact same thing on every single build. Well, right now on these like 3 builds, but look how much like realism this adds. It's crazy. Of course, like not every single freaking neighborhood is gonna be this disgusting, but I do love a good low-income neighborhood to look like it's not being taken care of. And if you're wondering, these fictional filth and grime grafts and raining rods that I'm using and young yuck is all from For Rent pack. Honestly, I think my favorite thing is really to add these 2 windows. They make such a big difference to how everything looks. It's crazy. And so this would be the final exteriors of these 3 houses. I think they look so cohesive together. I really enjoy how it's turning out. I think we hit a good spot where we are just in between what the game lets us do and realism. So let's hit save on this because we know my game has a little tendency to crash. And we're gonna jump on this huge lot over here with 5 houses, and I'm gonna repeat the exact same process again. So we're gonna do it a little bit differently this time. While this is happening in the back, and you can see every single step we just did being done again on all of these houses, I want to talk to you about how I envision this save file. First of all, I want to build every single lot myself. That is something really important for me. I don't want to download anything from the gallery. So this first thing, I am going to build everything myself. And something really important for me while building everything is the cohesiveness, the way it's cohesive when you look at it from the neighborhood view, but also from the select the world view. I want this map view to be super cohesive. Every single world is always going to use like the same things for its world. So for example, in here, the roof textures are pretty much similar everywhere. We have some white roof trims everywhere. That's gonna go and stay for the whole world of Willow Creek, because I don't like to go to select where my sim is going and all I can see is trees or mix match a lot. I like everything to match, and that's not just for one houses, it's for all of them to match together. For this save file, I am mostly going to build some empty shells ready to move in. Every house is gonna at least be ready to move in, so with the kitchen and bathroom done, and the layout, the floorings, the wallpaper, and all the realism decorations such as light switch, heaters, name it. So every house is gonna come with at least that, and all of the houses that are going to be furnished are going to have family inside of them, and they are going to be furnished for their specific family. So we're gonna do that along along the way. Now, if you are only playing base game, don't worry, you are not being left out. I am currently working on a base game save file. It is just kind of boring to do on a long term. It is pretty much repetitive. The items are pretty much the same, but if you would like to see a little bit of this, let me know. This could be something fun we do in a live stream together. But now that every houses is built, and we actually did build an entire neighborhood, this means 9 houses, it's time for the final tour. We're gonna go ahead and visit these houses so you can see what you're getting when you download these from the gallery. But bear in mind, you're only gonna be able to download the lots from each world once the world is finished. So I'll have to finish Willow Creek before uploading everything on the gallery, but it's gonna be there. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know what you want to see next in our forever save file building. Would you like to see another neighborhood, or should we build a little bit more of the community lots? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also consider subscribing to join our family. And on that note, I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!